Good morning, everybody out there in virtual congregation land. My name is Mark Dorsett. I am the student pastor here at the Christabelle Spiritualist Church in beautiful Cherry Valley, Illinois. I would like this morning to say a very special thank you to all of our healthcare workers out there, those people who are literally on the front lines of this whole pandemic situation. I have seen so many of you out there recently who have reached out to me as well, who have said how challenging things are for you. And I just want you to know that there are people out there who really do appreciate all the hard work that you are doing in order to try and help keep the rest of us safe. So in honor of all of our frontline healthcare workers, our invocation for today is actually going to be our prayer for spiritual healing. So if you could please bow your heads in a virtual fashion, I will begin. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. And now for our reading of our Declaration of Principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven through the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Now, allow me to begin with my sermon for the day. Good morning. How are you all doing out there today in whatever virtual congregation location you happen to be attending our virtual sermon from? Are you comfortable? Everybody good? You ready? You ready for that amazing and mind-blowing wisdom that infinite intelligence has chosen for me to share with you today? Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Woo. So, I have a question for all of you out there. How many of you are fans of reggae music? Sorry, I'm laughing because I see several crinkled noses and looks of disbelief. A few of you apparently aren't necessarily fans of reggae or may not necessarily be very familiar with it. However, I am very happy to see that there are some smiling faces and nodding heads out there. So it is nice to know that some of you understand reggae and you like it. This is good because that's one of the reasons I'm asking has a very specific purpose for today. So allow me to go ahead and explain the reason behind my question. Now, specifically, how many of you, dear virtual congregation members, are familiar with Mr. Bob Marley? Okay, so looking out there, I think most of you at least know the name. Bob Marley was a Rastafarian and reggae musician and singer who was phenomenally talented, but he also left this earth plane far too soon. Now, That's really not why I'm referencing him here today, though. So, why would a spiritualist pastor in Cherry Valley, Illinois, be talking to all of you about a Rastafarian musician who left this physical world way back in 1981? Excellent question, Lisa. Because Spirit asked me to. As I have spoken about several times, I do get my sermon inspiration from some truly unique sources. All thanks to my being open to the messages that infinite intelligence, or Spirit, gives me. After performing the virtual church sermon last Sunday, I was home and meditating while listening to Bob Marley and the Wailers. I use music a lot of times as a way to not only help me get motivated, but at other times to help me unwind and relax. So on occasion, Spirit will use this music to inspire me. Okay, more than just on occasion, but quite often, actually. So anyway, there I was. I'm listening to music when a specific song came on and I had an epiphany. Now you don't have to worry, it was only a little bit painful and I'm feeling much better now. Just kidding. But I had a sudden realization that my spirit guides were poking at my brain to pay extra attention to the lyrics of the song that was playing. Now, of those who have heard of Mr. Bob Marley, how many of you out there are familiar with any of his music? Specifically, how many of you know the song that's called Three Little Birds? Or as my incredibly smart, talented, and totally amazing wife would say, it's the Welcome to Jamaica song. It's one of the songs that they play in the airport at Jamaica, so she thinks of it as the Welcome to Jamaica song. But, okay, it really doesn't look like very many of you know that song by the title. How about this? Brace yourselves, everybody, because it's about to become Karaoke Sunday here at the Christabelle Spiritualist Church. If I give you just a couple of lines from the song, do you think you might recognize it? Hey, let's find out right now. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. I promise to never do that to you again if you promise to find the song on whatever platform that you have available to you and listen to it. I will also link the song below this sermon so that you can find it a little more easily. But anyway, did that song sound familiar to any of you? At least from the two lines that I so poorly sang. Even if it didn't sound familiar right away, I have a feeling that most of you will recognize the tune when you hear it done properly. I actually do have high hopes that you will understand after hearing the song exactly why Spirit chose this sermon as my inspiration for today. If anybody needs a polite nudge to really help you understand the reason as to why this song is significant right now, I highly recommend turning on the television, turning on a radio, really tuning into any social media platform that you happen to be a part of. To put it bluntly, it's getting ugly out there right now. I'm sure a few of you have noticed, but as I have spoken about in both my Hindsight is 2020 virtual sermon as well as the Clean Slate Protocol virtual sermon, people seem to be drawing lines and building trenches for their particular ideologies right now. For those people who are trying to metaphorically be Switzerland, it can be especially challenging. A large part of the population here in the U.S. seems to be focusing more on things from a very narrow viewpoint. A viewpoint that really does associate pretty much solely with the physical body and the physical world, without regard to the fact that we truly are a body, a soul, and a spirit. Remember the destination fixation that I had spoken about in my road trip sermon? I knew you would. Now, in this instance, it's actually more as if people have let fear cause a case of target fixation. So many people have started to fix their target on blame instead of on the problem. The problem, as I personally see it, is that we really have been we've become disconnected from our spirit. We are refusing to look at the bigger picture of where we are all headed. We need to fix the problem and not the blame. As we are becoming less connected with spirit and associating who we are more and more with just the physical body and the physical world, we're becoming more attached to our physical possessions and ideologies that associate only with this physical plane. That attachment is causing a lot of challenges right now. As we get further from our true spiritualist nature and lose sight of who we truly are, many of us are being led down a path of fear. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Apologies, everybody. I turned into Jedi Master Yoda for just a moment there. But I do think that George Lucas was actually being quite prophetic when he wrote those words to be uttered by that aforementioned character. You know, actually, there is quite a bit of spiritualist truth to be had in the Star Wars universe, but I think that's a sermon for another day. Now that I have outlined a bit of what I see as something of a problem for us all right now, it's time to focus on the solution and to bring the sermon back around to Mr. Bob Marley and his three little birds. His inspiration for the song actually came from three little birds that would show up on his windowsill each morning and sing. They always made him feel joyful and at peace each morning when he would see them. He felt like they were singing to him directly and giving him a message that every little thing was going to be all right. No matter what challenges he faced, and in any particular moment, he would think back to those birds and how their singing made him feel. So what is the point behind everything I've been telling you today? Simply this. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right. No, really, it is. This is one of those moments where, as a spiritualist, I'm standing before you here today as your pastor, but I am not going to ask you to just take what I am saying on faith alone. After all, that is the one thing that the science, philosophy, and religion of spiritualism really does not do. As spiritualists, we have a much deeper understanding of the universe and how it operates because we have studied it. We've looked for evidential information to show the true nature of the universe. Anybody out there remember both triunes of spiritualism? If not, please go back and check out our previous sermons to refresh your memory. But, don't do that right now because I'm about to refresh your memory here also. The first triune, or what I like to think of as the great triune of spiritualism, teaches us that it is a science because it searches for objective evidential proof. It is a philosophy because it looks for the deeper wisdom behind those scientific proofs. And it is a religion because it offers concrete ways to bridge the gap between this world and the next. In a lesser sense, we are individually a triune in and of ourselves because we are more than just this physical form. We are a body, a soul, and a spirit. We are a physical body that is having this human experience right now. We are a soul that connects us to our physical body and then connects our physical body to spirit. Remember, our spirit is completely limitless. It is that infinite part of us that connects us to infinite intelligence and is a part of everything that is, was, or ever will be. The three little birds of Bob Marley can also be interpreted as being similar to the triumphs of spiritualism. Again, I know that he was not specifically a spiritualist, but hear me out on this. He took great joy in the appearance of those three little birds whenever they'd appear on his windowsill in the morning, and he always felt like they were speaking specifically to him. We all know how infinite intelligence works with and through every living thing in existence to guide us on our paths. Again, this is not something that we have to take on faith. We experience this wonderful joy, guidance, and wisdom on a daily, and indeed sometimes moment-by-moment basis. Spirit is continually speaking to us and through us. As Paul McCartney sang, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oh, sorry everybody, wrong song. I think Spirit changed the station in my head again. Does happen occasionally. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, right? Even though it can be quite easy to let ourselves get caught up in the fear and anger that is happening across the country right now, as spiritualists, we do know that there is much more to life than what we physically see going on. We are all part of a much greater whole that encompasses not just things physical here on earth, but also that great infinity that is Spirit and Summerland. The fact that there is more to life than what we see here is such an important thing to remember. It is also a large part of what I see our job as spiritualists here on earth as being. We are here to be the light of spiritualist truth for others. We are here to, as the sunflower turns its face to the light of the sun, to turn or help turn people to the light, to love, to peace, to joy, and happiness. All of those things that spiritualism provides. It is a great comfort to people to know that the best is yet to come, and that when we end our time here on earth, that it is not the end. It is only the first step on a wondrous journey. If more people understood this, there would not be nearly the conflict that we are having currently. We need to be reminded on occasion that every little thing gonna be all right. And yes, it is. Go forth this week. Remember those three little birds that make up the triunes of spiritualism. Remember that when you see those people around you starting to become more fearful, more angry, more hate-filled, that not only do you not have to let them affect you, but that you can help them to understand that we are so much more than this physical form. We are joy, we are peace, we are love, we are spirit, we are spiritualists, and we are going to help heal this world. This is my message to you. Go forth this week and be the light of spiritualist truth for those around you who need it. Be the better, stronger, happier person that spiritualism helps you to become. Know that whatever happens in the next week, the next month, the next year, that you can use those experiences as a catalyst for growth, because we are capable of so much more than we ever thought possible. Let's go out there and do our part to heed the song of those three little birds, and remember this week, every little thing gonna be all right. Thank you.